Welcome back, adventurers, to another episode of Underdark Cellars. Today we are diving right back into my Creating Recipes for Mighty 9 Characters series by focusing on my personal favorite, Nott. Now, Nott the Brave is a goblin rogue, and I truly feel like she is the heart of the cast of the Mighty 9. Nott is working through a lot. Nott has a lot of past trauma, but she's actively working through it. And, you know, she struggles a little bit. She's very protective of the rest of the cast, and especially Caleb. She also has a lot of lived experience that she brings to the cast, which is very helpful in getting them out of sticky situations. Now, one of the things that I really like about Nott is her flaws. She has some subtle flaws, but she also has some very obvious flaws. And one of them is her crippling alcohol addiction that she uses to kind of propel her through the series. So we're going to be doing 2 recipes today. The first are some chicken wings that I feel like she would really enjoy. Nott herself says that she has, quote, sticky fingers. So we're going to be making some really nice Korean style fried chicken wings. Also, this is a little homage to a moment where Nott suggests she may have eaten a baby at one point. Look, I'm just throwing the lore out there, okay? You do with that what you will, but I'm throwing the lore out there. Sam Riegel, thank you so much for bringing this amazing character to life. Now let's get started with that glaze. For the sauce, we need 8 ounces of pineapple juice. I actually extended this to 16 ounces of pineapple juice. I found that 1 can just wasn't enough for the volume of the sauce that I needed, so I did 2 cans, so it's 16 ounces. We're also gonna do a half cup total, so a quarter cup each of minced ginger and garlic. And yeah, it sounds like a lot, and it is, but you know what? I want flavor in my life. I don't do bland food. You cannot complain to me about your food being boring if you don't season your damn food. We're also going to have a half a cup of gochujang and a half a cup of honey, and then 2 tablespoons or 2 splashes of whiskey, and we are going to bring that together. We're also going to add some MSG for a little bit of umami, because everything is better with MSG. I don't care what you have to say. We're going to whisk this over medium-low heat, and it's gonna boil up a little bit. So I tried the hack where you put like a wooden spoon across the top with you know how you do with, like, I don't know if you've seen it with like pasta water, how sometimes it'll boil over. So people will put like a wooden spoon up there, and it's supposed to break the tension, and the bubble is supposed to go back down. I'm here to tell you that did not work for me. That did not work for me so much that I actually had to transfer the contents to another pot completely because it boiled over. We're gonna let that reduce for about an hour while we work on our chicken. Now, I have been brining my chicken for about 12 hours, okay? You want to brine your chicken. The reason you're gonna brine your chicken is the salt water is going to help the chicken cook a little bit faster when we fry it. It'll be extremely moist and just so flavorful. So we're gonna work on the batter for the chicken. This is gonna be a 3-step dredge process. So first dry, then wet, then dry. So we're working on the wet batter right here. We're gonna take some cornstarch, garlic powder, white pepper, MSG, a little bit of salt, tiny bit of salt, and then rice vinegar. And we are going to turn this almost into a pancake batter consistency. You really just have to kind of eyeball it, whatever elevation you're at, whatever liquid you're using. You could use regular water for this. You could use regular like a normal vinegar for this, apple cider vinegar. It just depends on what you're using. Just eyeball it, make sure it's nice pancake consistency. So for the stuff for the first and the third, for the first and the second bag, so the first and third steps of the dredging process, the exact same thing. So it's going to be cornstarch, baking powder, MSG, don't skip the MSG, garlic powder, white pepper, tiny bit of salt. We're going to mix that together before we put the chicken in because I don't want any clumps of like unincorporated garlic powder sticking to the chicken. I also had some extra gochujang, so I just threw that in the batter because it's just not enough to justify keeping it in my fridge for 6 months until I need it again. So once that's all ready to go, the sauce is reduced, we're going to get ready to fry our chicken. So we're going to take our chicken and we're going to put it in the bag number 1, and we're going to make sure that's sealed really well. If you're really concerned about that kind of exploding everywhere, you can go ahead and double bag it, but I've never had a problem with the Kirkland Signature Ziploc bags. They've always worked just fine. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and shake that really well until all the chicken has been coated in that cornstarch mixture, and you'll see that like the cornstarch mixture starts to disappear from the edges of the bag. That's because there's a lot of moisture in that chicken. We want this chicken to be super crispy, so it is going to be coated. So give this a good hefty toss for like a minute or two. Then we're going to transfer the now like flour dredged, or like the cornstarch dredged rather, chicken into the batter and toss it with our hands. There's going to be a slight chemical reaction that occurs between the rice wine vinegar and the baking powder. It doesn't affect anything. It's just what happens when you introduce baking powder to vinegar. We're going to go ahead and you can just toss it with your fingers, and then we're going to put that in bag number 2, so step number 3, and we're going to shake it again so it's coated completely. We're going to fry our chicken for 6 minutes at 365. Be careful not to overcrowd the pan, because if you put too much in your oil, the heat of the oil will drop, and then you run the risk of your chicken not cooking or absorbing too much oil. So cook it for about 6 minutes and then leave it on a cookie sheet over paper towels to like drip dry for a couple minutes. While those finish, we're going to transfer our sauce to our bowl, and then we're going to put the chicken in the bowl, and then we're going to toss the chicken. And you're just going to toss it until everything is nice and coated. If you really, really want this to be extra super duper sticky, then you can go ahead and put it in the oven at like 400 degrees for like 10 minutes, and it'll just like adhere the glaze to the chicken, and you will not be able to get it off your fingers. And oh my goodness, this chicken, phenomenal. It doesn't need any sauce. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't need any ranch. And I am a ranch girly. I am a ranch dressing fiend. And this did not need anything. It was hot. It was sweet. It was sticky. It was crispy. It was so juicy. The chicken was dripping everywhere. It was phenomenal. So definitely make this. Super easy sauce. But yeah, this honestly, I'm not kidding you when I think this is probably one of the top 10 things I have ever made in my life. So, you know, I think Nott would like these. So let's go ahead and move on to that mocktail, shall we? First things first, we're going to start with our chamoy rim. So if you've not had chamoy before, you're missing out. You're missing out. It's a Mexican condiment. It's made with dried fruit, some chilies, lime, salt. We're going to put that in a rim. Next, we're going to add ice to the glass. We're going to fill the glass halfway up with lemonade. We're going to add some pineapple juice to the glass, about a quarter of the way up. And then we're going to top off the rest of the glass with the rum alternative. Now, if you do the alcoholic version of this is going to be a strong drink, so brace yourself. Then for the top, to preserve the integrity of our tongue from all of the acid, especially the pineapple juice, we're going to add a layer of coconut cream topped with more chamoy. This was so good. This is a fabulous drink, especially if you want to make it in bulk. If you want to do a pitcher of this for like a summertime gathering, we're going to be getting into grilling season here soon. This would be a great way to go. Oh my gosh, this was so good. This was so tasty. And you know what? I think Nott would like this. I genuinely do. I think Nott would like this. So that brings us to the end of the episode. If you liked what you saw, smash that like button. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, drop those down below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Ring the bell for notifications so you're the first to know when new videos go live. And share this with someone you would like to make these with. Yeah, that's it. Adventurers, as always, take care of yourselves, do something nice for someone else, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!